The year is 2010. We gather in the living room where my mother shows a DVD cover titled Three Idiots. Putting it into the DVD player to watch it for the first time, the memory still stays fresh in my mind, remembering exactly how me and my parents reacted toward all the moments that the film offered. I'm still a primary student at that time, but I can't help feeling that Three Idiots is a special movie for me. Since then, I start to rewatch Three Idiots almost every year, recommending it to all of my friends amidst the stereotype of Bollywood films at that time in Indonesia. And surprisingly, I always listen to good things about it, at the very least from my surroundings. But as a 9-year-old kid, there is obviously no way for me to understand deeply about the theme it offers, which I will discuss more later. So, how is this film able to hit that soft spot on almost everyone, all ages? Well, the answer is simply thanks to all of the people involved in the film who understand how to deliver a powerful comedy. Starting from the script, it's witty dialogue that never fails to make me laugh.
Can you tell us how an induction motor starts?
Using visual comedy,
Don't forget कि हर साल IC में 4 लाख applications आते हैं.
elevated with comedic sound effects. And don't forget about the cast performance delivering perfect comedic timing. When you combine all of that, you get some of the most memorable Indian film sequences of all time.
पिछले 32 साल से इन्होंने निरंतर इस कॉलेज में बलात्कार पे बलात्कार किए.
But comedy is not all that the film offers. The catchy music, the subtle production design, makeup, and costume design, and most importantly, the film's heart.
पापा के साथ डील थी कि डिग्री मिलने के बाद आईसी के किसी आदमी से लाइफ में नहीं मिलेगा. वो अक्सर कहता था, मैं तो नहीं मिलूंगा पर एक दिन 2 इडियट आएंगे मुझे ढूंढते हुए. जब तुम लोग क्या करोगे? बहुत मिस करता है तुम दोनों.
Sometimes that important moment is set up as a comedy, but later repeat itself to unlock the emotional core.
All is well.
That is just how perfect I would say Three Idiots is, as an entertainment and a story filled with emotional roller coaster. Basically, an almost 3-hour film that offers everything to the audience. And while that is what makes the film rewatchable, it is actually just the tip of an iceberg. Rewatching the film as you grow older, you start to respect the theme that Three Idiots offers. This wouldn't be really surprising if you're a fan of Rajkumar Hirani films, knowing how he always delivers social criticism. Munai by MBBS, a criticism of doctors in India. PK, a film deals with religious superstition. His recent film Dunki represents the popular illegal immigration technique, and in the case of Three Idiots, failure of the education system. 14 years have passed since I first watched the film. I just got promoted into a fresh graduate and obviously feels what Rancho and the gang have to go through in university. A system of education where most of the times competition based are prioritized rather than understanding.
Remember, life is a race. अगर तेज नहीं भागोगे तो कोई तुम्हें कुचल के आगे निकल जाए.
Therefore, to pass, we use chatur method of memorizing.
को वो चीज दी जिसके हमें सख्त जरूरत थी.
धन
स्तन.
Instead of Rancho's based approach learning.
एक सेकंड में अप, एक सेकंड में डाउन. अप डाउन, अप डाउन, अप डाउन.
Why? Because we actually have been trained to do that from such a young age. Unlike Three Idiots that portray this competition in college, most Asian kids must adapt to competitive education from a young age. I remember the times during primary school where we still use the ranking system and it is expected for us to thrive on top. Announced in front of the class, the people in the bottom will be looked down as idiots. But what we fail to realize at that time is these idiots have other talents that the academic curriculum tends to overlook. Even myself was a victim of this system and tried to pursue to be on top by memorizing with the understanding, producing the real idiots in this world. That's the reason why the film is so popular in the Asian market. Written by Ocherim in her Kai's article, quoting, "The popularity of Three Idiots can be traced back to the national background of the overly competitive education system. In South Korea, students of all ages, from young elementary children to university graduate students, are trained to study under overwhelming pressure and extremely high academic standards. In short, this movie is really our own story." To sum up, what makes this film really enjoyable is the cathartic feeling of stripping down the faulty education system. And this is done without being preachy, but rather through good comedic moments. What is a machine beats the purpose of textbook base. Chatur's speech reminds us how memorizing with the understanding is dangerous. Joy's death is a warning to how pressure could kill us. Speaking of expectation, it is not just from the education side but also society.
इसको आप इंजीनियर क्यों बना रहे हैं? इसको तो वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफर बनना चाहिए। बहुत आगे बढ़ेगा।
While the situation is getting better, it is still a common phenomenon to see parents force their wishes into their children's future. My uncle, dreamt to be a popular musician, was forced to quit since their parents didn't want to support. And a friend of mine, passionate about becoming a doctor, enters computer science to just make his parents happy. What's the point if what Rancho says is proven to be correct?
तो और क्या बोलूं? पहले इंजीनियरिंग की, उसके बाद एमबीए किया, उसके बाद अमेरिका जाके बैंक में नौकरी कर रहा है।
In the core of the movie, it is Rancho's idealism that really inspires us from his speeches.
उस दिन एक बात समझ में आई, ये जो अपना दिल है ना, बड़ा डरपोक है यार। इसको बेवकूफ बना के रखो। लाइफ में कितनी भी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हो ना, उसको बोलो कोई बात नहीं चाचू, सब ठीक ठाक है, ऑल इज वेल, ऑल इज वेल। ऐसे पढ़ के फर्स्ट आ भी गए तो क्या फायदा? आप लोगों की नॉलेज बढ़ेगी? नहीं, सिर्फ प्रेशर बढ़ेगा।
Sometimes also his unique way to challenge norm like seniority. Materialism.
Oh my God! Hey! क्या किया भाई? अरे $300 के शूज है, पुदीने की चटनी on my $300 shoes.
And formal education.
माँ थक जाए और पुश नहीं कर पाए तो ये कप बेबी के सर पे लगाते हैं।
मैं ये बना सकता हूँ। I can make it.
कैसे?
वैक्यूम क्लीनर सर।
वैक्यूम क्लीनर।
We all just really hope that this world could change like what Rancho idealizes, able to follow passion, turning a hobby into real work, chasing excellence where success will follow, having faith in oneself and not afraid of failure in its course. But does the world really treat us that way? We could see that Three Idiots being very popular due to the education system, and it prompts a hope for revision of the system in the future. But 15 years has passed since the film's premiere, and what I could say is there's almost no change to be seen. Instead, what I feel is how the system isn't only present inside the education but outside as well. Scores are still an important indicator for the competition. Especially living in Korea, I see how students are so pressured to do their college entrance exam because it decides which college you could enter. But now, we're also expected to join extracurricular, community, winning awards, having years of experience, and most of these are seen in quantity rather than quality. That's what I really feel during my job search, proving that life really is a race and reality isn't what Rancho idealizes.
These ideals don't work in the real world, Chanchard.
It is almost impossible in this real world to get a job if we enter with righteous attitude and score, since lots of companies try to get the best out of applicants, which sometimes also lead to exploitation. The idea that Three Idiots itself presenting about passion is very simple as well, disregarding the socio-economic and financial problem that most people face these days due to capitalism. In the end, we could even see that Rancho himself hasn't changed the world of education yet with his mindset. But again, despite the criticism, we really do need that kind of idealism in our life, breaking away from the expectation of society and the system that makes us like a robot. Without Rancho's idealism, there would be no way he could produce all those 400 patterns if he just followed by the book. He might not be able to change the world, but the most important thing is that he always redeemed himself by not following society's expectation and breaking from the system, saving himself from becoming another robot. That is perhaps what is most important, making sure that Rancho's idealism is put in the audience's mind. It's okay if society doesn't change yet. What's important is that we have redeemed ourselves from the system through that idealism, being brave and trusting ourselves, breaking away from fear like Raju and Farhan. And if it doesn't work for the first time, try to say Rancho's mantra. All is well.
All is well. All is well.